Getty ADVERTISINGinRead invented by TeadsADVERTISINGinRead invented by TeadsLib Dems are still calling for a second referendum after a Brexit deal was agreed. In an apparent attempt to undermine the government, the Liberal Democrat Party said the nation must hold a second vote to agree on the final deal. A spokesman for the Liberal Democrats said, "So Theresa May has finally got a deal, but how long before it's torn apart by her own MPs?" It should be the British people, not Tory Brexiteers and DUP, who get to decide whether this deal is good enough. The Lib Dem spokesman said there was still no solution over how to prevent a hard border between Northern Ireland and Ireland in the text of the joint report.BREXIT deal. Related articles. They're bluffing. Theresa May urged not to bow to EU pressure. To me. Christian crackdown. Church closed down by police for printing tea. It should be the British people, not Tory Brexiteers and DUP, who get to decide whether this deal is good enough. Lib Dem spokesman. He said, "A huge obstacle to the government's Brexit plans is being kicked into the long grass." After overnight talks, Mrs May and EU boss Jean-Claude Juncker finally managed to agree sufficient progress had been made on talks, which will move negotiations onto trade. Mrs May said that the major changes to the text of the agreement rejected by the DUP on Monday included a strengthening of the commitments in relation to Northern Ireland and the United Kingdom. On the thorny issue of jurisdiction over EU citizens' rights in the UK after Brexit, Mr Juncker said, "For EU citizens, the European Court of Justice will still be competent." European Council President Donald Tusk confirmed that he has sent the leaders of the remaining 27 EU states proposed guidelines for a new mandate for Chief Negotiator Michel Barnier to begin negotiations on the transition period, as well as exploratory talks on the future trade relationship. Meanwhile, DUP leader Arlene Foster welcomed the substantial progress achieved in the agreement, but cautioned that much more work was needed on managing the Irish border post-Brexit. She said her party worked with the government into the early hours of Friday to secure changes to the original text it rejected on Monday. Mrs Foster said Northern Ireland would now leave the single market and customs union and insisted there would be no border down the Irish Sea, dividing Northern Ireland from the rest of the UK. She added, "There will be no so-called special status for Northern Ireland as demanded by Sinn Féin."